All right, it begins. We are watching Benedict Cumberbatch. That should be pretty good. It's a good movie. I
Yeah.
like the movie.
Benedict's a cucumber.
Sure. Sounds like a Rick Berman sort of thing, talking about people's cucumbers, but all right.
It's a Tom and Joad with his name. Everyone deliberately mispronounces it.
Yes.
I mean, the funny thing is just how many variations you can come up with it, and everyone knows you're talking about Benedict Cumberbatch. That's the kind of amazing thing.
Yep.
Usually it has to begin with a B and a C, but not even that is negotiable.
Mm.
But his name isn't Benedict Cumberbatch. His name is Khan. One of the most common names in the world.
Spoilers.
Come on. His name is Smaug. He was pretty good at Smaug. It was a good Smaug. But yeah, this movie, I still think it's a good movie. It's just unnecessary that it's Khan. It could have been anybody.
Yeah, it's totally unnecessary as Khan.
1 hour ago.
Literally the only thing that makes it that it's somewhat sensible as Khan is that it ties in with
he wasn't playing Khan, so he's not Khan.
Crew.
Definitely not.
But other than that, but even that, they could just go, "Oh, it's another group of
if
another
it wasn't
ship
Khan,
sent into
then
space."
It wouldn't be the worst Trek movie.
He doesn't have a waxed and polished chest in this, so.
Do we even see him shirtless? You don't know that. Maybe he's ripped. Like I heard Scotty saw him in the shower, and he said that Khan has an 8-pack. That Khan is shredded.
He saw him in the shower, and he's got Klingon parts.
Yeah, for what we're counting today, it's Ricardo Montalban's. I don't remember Ricardo Montalban, but I'm thinking like maybe we see a picture of old Khan, because we know we call old Spock. So if anybody sees Ricardo Montalban, hopefully. Did you catch the game last night?
What game?
I don't know. There was probably one.
Yeah, one assumes.
No.
Why not?
You're asking a bunch of Star Trek fans if they watched the game last night.
What?
Yeah, the game's not. The
Parisi
game's a weird
Star
episode.
Trek 2 reports.
Was it Parisi Squares, or what was the Ambujitsu?
The ultimate evolution of the martial arts, yes.
Yeah, yep.
Or the cotton swabs? Yeah.
I wish he was just John Harrison, and that's all.
Yeah, he could have been just John Harrison. That would have been fine.
It should actually have been the Starfleet officer whose alias he was assigned. Imagine someone who knew of Marcus' plans and tried to disrupt them.
You want the villain to be a good guy? Or sort of like an ends justify the means kind of villain?
And no Alice Eve cleavage.
A good villain is a villain that doesn't think they're the villain, you know? Like...
Often, yeah.
Gold Dukat.
Did they ever
Gold Dukat is a good
single
villain,
statue? That's exactly what I was thinking.
Is there a single statue of Khan on Earth?
Maybe.
I should think not.
So I got a 5K with my PE8. It was beautiful.
Nice.
We're all very proud of you. I assume that's good. I don't know what that means.
War Thunder PE8's got a 5,000 kilogram bomb. And I got
excessive.
5 players at once.
All right, everybody, prepare for Cumberbatch. Press play in 5, 4,
Cumberbatch
3,
incoming.
2, 1, play.
Maybe Admiral Marcus changed his face?
It's the second largest bomb in the game. There is a 12,000-pound bomb, which is slightly larger.
Wait, why is the display looking at my left window? What? Hang on, I need to change the... Is it this monitor?
I love this intro theme. I still love the music. The best part, right? The best part of the JJ movies is the music.
It's good music.
I hate to say it, but it's true.
Yeah, the JJ movies are good, man. I like the JJ movies.
They're good.
I'm not saying they're bad. I'm saying the best part is the music.
I mean, the best part of a large portion of films is the music.
Pirates of the Caribbean.
How do you say his last name? Michael Giacchino? Giacchino,
yeah.
Giacchino sounds right.
Cappuccino.
Although Bad Robot is why we have Alex Kurtzman, so I don't know.
Class M planet, Nibiru. Not the Nibiru that conspiracy theorists talk about. It's a different Nibiru. Hopefully. I assume this isn't like some secret planet in the Sol system.
No, I don't actually know why
He did the
Kirk
music for
steals
Lost
this.
2, and that elevated that too.
It's to distract them. I think it's to get them away from the volcano and just looking
Nemesis
away.
is the score.
Dang it, Jim. Are you sure the best part isn't that makeup? That's pretty good makeup. They're very... I mean, I wouldn't want to live here. These people look very flaky, like they could use some moisturizer.
Yeah, he's trying to get them away from the volcano.
Why are they interfering with the natural order of things?
Well, that's going to be the whole first act. Well, first few scenes anyway.
What is that? Is that an Iron Man suit?
That's his heat resistant suit.
Oh.
Because he's going to go down into the volcano. It's like when you ask how many atmospheres can a spaceship withstand, it's between 0 and 1. How many degrees of heat can a normal spacesuit withstand? I'd say between 0 and room temperature. So if you want something for a volcano, you need a new suit.
That's not fair. If you're exposed to like the sun in space, you're gonna get hot really fast because there's no convection or conduction, so you're just gonna get roasted. So it has to withstand quite a lot of heat. People don't realize how intense the sun is outside of our atmosphere.
Yep.
Is this a CG volcano, or is this a CG Spock over a real volcano? That looks really good. That dropping shot, I think, was CG, but I think the lava spewing bit, that might have been a real one.
It's a real Spock on a green screen with a CG volcano.
It's a really good CG volcano.
Yeah.
Like, yes, this is a CG volcano, for sure.
I wish it was a real volcano.
Zachary Quinto. Is Zachary Quinto the new quintessential Spock? I think Zachary Quinto is a better Spock than the guy they got for Strange New Worlds.
And Ethan Peck's great. Love Ethan.
I'm not saying he's bad. I think he's better. I just think Zachary Quinto's better. That's all.
All right.
I don't know. I have trouble believing that either of them is Spock. I need the eyebrow thing. That's one that lets me know it's Spock.
I wasn't sold on Ethan in Discovery, but I think he got a lot better for Strange New Worlds. Maybe it's just that he shaved.
Yeah, shaving did help.
I think the only bearded Vulcan we've seen other than him is Cybok.
Evil Spock.
Well,
Mirror
that wasn't
Universe
even
Spock.
facial hair. That was just like a strip of black paint. Or like they glued something onto him. Is this designed to go underwater, or are we sure?
I mean, clearly it works fine.
Yeah, I'm with
Mirror
Scotty.
Spock was just a goatee.
It is nice that they actually cast this Scottish guy for once to play Scotty on Strange New Worlds.
No, it's English. Yeah, Strange New Worlds.
No, Strange New Worlds. Not this guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
English, Scottish,
that was
whatever.
great.
Same
No,
thing.
the Strange New Worlds guy's actually Scottish, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah. Sorry.
Blasphemy.
Yes. I have trouble with context, and the obvious context was this movie, not Strange New Worlds. But yes, is what I meant to refer to. I mean, Simon Pegg is great, but like, yeah.
Vulcan in this timeline
They start a
also
new
have
religion
goatees.
based around Enterprise.
Is this one of those super volcanoes that destroys the world? Because, like, we can afford to lose one village of aliens, right? It's
The
just a
shuttle
volcano.
should have survived the volcano. Changes must have been made.
No, Scotty, it's already erupting.
Yeah, I mean, Simon Pegg does a good job with sounding Scottish because he spoke with lots of Scots when he did it.
It is more believable than Doohan's accent for sure.
James Doohan was playing a Scotsman.
That's what he said. The needs of the many.
James Doohan was playing a Scotsman when Simon Pegg's grandfather was in diapers. Yeah, I would. Good job, Spock. The needs of the many. Do we ever, in all of Star Trek, ever get an actual needs of the many?
Scott for Scotty.
It's always followed up by someone doing a self-sacrifice every time.
Yeah, it's true.
Or sorry, someone being saved from a self-sacrifice every time.
Right.
Does anyone ever go through with, oh, wait,
there's always something, something that they say in theory and then decide to...
Star Trek 2.
The films, the TOS films
Star
did
Trek
it,
2.
Yeah.
And this movie, which is the same thing.
Hey guys.
It's supposed to be.
We never see the Enterprise leave the ocean except in this movie.
Dang, look at those fluid physics they can show off. This movie's like 10 years old and it still has better CG than modern stuff.
Much like Star Trek 2, Spock dies at the beginning.
I mean, yeah, these days, CG it's not technology that's the limit anymore.
Well, I just learned that Marvel really underpays their CGI artists.
Yeah.
Even though like all those movies are CGI. So they just unionized.
Yeah.
Until then.
Well, some of them have unionized. Like, the industry as a whole isn't.
When you're underpaid, when you're that underpaid, you produce shoddy work. So that's why all the new Marvel movies kind of.
I mean, yeah, it's underpaid and rushed too. That Marvel likes to make lots of last minute decisions too, and just assume that they can, it's CG. They can do whatever. It's fine. They can change their mind. Keep making demands last minute. It'll all work out.
I think it's probably a bit of they got too reliant on CG, and
that too. Yeah,
it's just the movies are just so much CG. It's like the whole thing is filmed on a green screen, and they're using CG for stuff that really shouldn't be CG.
This transition is awesome.
Also, that's a really good depiction for seeing it for 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Good on these guys. Good artistic skills, good photographic memory. It's a good species.
Love that pic of CG 20 years ago to today.
The moment we saw that tribble again, I said, of course they were going to do that.
There's a tribble? Where's a tribble? Did I miss a tribble?
There is a tribble shown in this film before it's shown later on at some point.
Puppy.
Dodo!
Oh, that's a good dog. Oh, that's their replacement for their dead daughter. Yes. Okay, good dog.
Dead daughter or dying daughter?
Dying daughter. Soon to be dead daughter.
And to see any London landmarks they left in
there. There's no walkie-talkie anymore. London is already automatically 50% prettier.
You don't like the walkie-talkie?
It's Mickey from Doctor Who.
It is an ugly building. I used to work in it, so I have great affection for the walkie-talkie, but it is an ugly building.
Yeah,
and also like Fry's cars, or did briefly.
Yes,
that is an impressive engineering fail right there.
Didn't there was like a Disney Opera House that was frying cars too, with the stainless steel
same designer
exterior, was making like a
was it really?
It was like a parabolic it was making a bunch of parabolic dishes that was just melting everything across the street.
Yep. Well, yeah, that isn't what happened with the
and like people across the street,
25th Church Street. Yeah,
apartment building was like their rooms were like 110 degrees.
I mean, I know a car caught fire then. I know that, yeah, or was melted anyway.
So what does this kid have? Is this leukemia or something?
Not a script.
It's space leukemia.
Yeah.
Leukemia.
I gotta say though, the soundtrack for like The Dying Child, this movie has an amazing soundtrack because
a
lot of tragic.
We were saying that earlier, yeah.
A lot of tragic.
I said, I can save.
Tragedy plus time equals comedy. How long has this movie been out? 10
like 10
years? 15
give
years?
Or take.
So,
well, that's interesting you say that, Robo, because the other thing I was thinking about this movie was
May 2013, so 11 years.
After 9/11.
Hey,
go ahead.
You can't just lay in bed listening to classical music all day. Ooh, she's got a tail. Oh, that's sweet, man.
So after 9/11,
I'm way more into this now.
You couldn't destroy you couldn't destroy New York in the movies, and then I think like one of those tsunami movies.
Talking about?
More Beastie Boys.
It was like
Independence Day. They destroyed New York.
That was before 9/11. I said after 9/11. So what I was saying was though was that.
Oh, I thought you said before 9/11 you couldn't destroy.
So they
and then after 9/11, like they got it all out of the way, so it's what's the second destruction.
And so there's a movie called The Day After Tomorrow, where basically like the Earth freezes over because of global warming or something, and then that's when it became okay to destroy New York in movies again. But in this movie, you have a plane attacking a skyscraper, which is reminiscent of that event.
Beastie Boys is classical.
Yeah. It's classical music in the 24th century or 23rd century.
Okay, Jim, come on. It's Spock. Of course he filed a report. Come on, man.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Wait, were the subtitles right? He called him pointy.
Yep.
Jim, you're not supposed to be racist against Vulcans. That's Bones' job. Savage. At least Pike got out of the wheelchair. He didn't die there like in TOS.
The Menagerie, the cage. Something I really like about this Spock thing, because our Spock by Star Trek 6, he teaches Saavik how to lie. So this Spock still doesn't know how to lie.
Yes, I mean the whole Vulcan's not lying thing is just
It's a lie.
That's literally what Spock just said. He embraces technicality. That's what they do.
Yeah. They might love sticking to like lawyerly weasel word types of lies, but those are still lies.
No. In Star Trek 6, it's like a lie and omission. Like, no, you straight up lied.
Well, yeah.
Like Enterprise, our warp engines are out of service.
How are you, fellers?
We're pretty good, thank you. At least my best friend didn't get me written up because he couldn't cover up a little white lie.
Like, this is totally on you. You promoted someone from cadet to captain
Spock omits,
from one
exaggerates,
mission.
and implies.
Yeah.
This is what happens.
That is his arc across these 3 films, and it is a great arc.
I mean, lying is something that's very ambiguous because, of course, you teach people never to lie. But obviously, if you're hiding Jews in your basement and the Nazis show up and they say, "Do you have any Jews in your basement?" The answer is no.
Why is it always go to the Nazis with you?
Hi, everyone.
That's the analogy the Catholic Church uses to describe when it's okay.
Day streams since
when this
your review brought up Nazis.
It was 0.
Resetting the counter.
Were shitting.
On it.
It's from the Catechism of the Catholic Church.
It's just because, I mean, look at how everyone in Starfleet is dressed in this movie. They look like it.
Tuvok is good at lying about torture methods for some reason.
I bring up 9/11.
Soma, Gyrinx, is this accurate? Does that look like London? I've never been there. I don't know.
No.
No, but I mean, they only just started building skyscrapers here like 50 years ago.
Gil
so, like,
was trying to save the economy.
It's pretty reasonable to extrapolate pretty far.
It took them a while to figure out how to build vertical.
What is this? 150 years? 200 years?
I don't think it was a matter of figuring it out so much as like they weren't allowed, as I recall, for a while.
I thought there were no diseases on Earth. How did we get a disease?
It's
because they say there are no diseases.
It's not a It's not a communicable disease. It's not a pathogen. It's a disorder.
Okay.
Yeah. Random mutations can still happen that cause disorders. That's we're not allowed. They're not allowed to do.
Humans are still weak and fragile with failing biology, and we need to replace ourselves with cyborgs.
The funny thing about Star Trek is they say we got rid of all these diseases, and then for a story they have to make up new ones that cannot be cured or need a cure from this particular place.
Kelvin Memorial Archives. Kelvin Memorial Archives. Is that a real place?
It's USS Kelvin, which is destroyed.
Yes. So I assume they're probably in LA, right?
No, this is London.
For those exterior shots?
Oh, for the exterior shots, yeah, probably.
CGI LA?
Don't bring water right next to
Why
your
do they look
console.
like officers
Get
for
a
the
couple or
Empire
something.
in Star Wars?
Because that is basically what they are, this group.
Yeah.
This movie's
London.
all about Starfleet sliding into fascism and going into militarization, and they have to learn the moral lesson that they're a peaceful space exploration still. A peacekeeping and humanitarian armada, you could say.
That was quite the
The
explosive.
Starfleet awakens.
I believe
What's
the
the
archive
point
should
of
be
showing
backed
a
up.
blurry movie?
So that you can see that the spot that I'm at in the movie is synced up with the spot that you're at. Because I can't show you the movie. Or
You
the
have to bring
audio.
your own copy of the video or audio. Wait, didn't Pike die in the
Copyright.
last film? I didn't get
No,
this.
no, he went into a wheelchair.
Okay. Oh, right.
And then in an earlier scene here, he had a cane, and now he's fine, I guess.
Yep.
Wait, he was on Nero's ship strapped down.
Remember
like,
Star Trek 2009
Yeah, they got him
and
out.
Star Trek Into Darkness are basically Star Wars movies with Star Trek stuff.
Right.
Ryan would love to get cease and resisted, but...
Now ask if we can sing.
Cease and
Either show
resisted.
the movie or show no movie. Showing a blurry
Cease
movie
and-
is still pointless.
Cease and desist. Yes.
Desist.
That doesn't make any sense.
I really like Pike's insignia. They look like bicycle chains, but
How about
they really... I mean, you guys are saying they're fascist, but I like these uniforms in this movie. I mean, who doesn't like jackboots and leather?
Oh, why is this still showing the wrong screen? Hang on, I'm gonna fix it. There we go. Here, hopefully this is more to your taste for streaming. If you don't want to watch the movie, here is the, something else to keep your eyes occupied.
We've been doing this fine this way for years now, George.
Actually, blurry movie does help keep in sync.
It does.
The squirrels really help with the dramatic tension.
it's almost like, why do you care so much to complain about it? Like, if you don't like it, tough. I don't know, ignore it.
It might be
Gonna
their
be
first
okay
time and they
soon.
don't know how we do it.
Yeah.
Also,
fine.
is Pike his dad?
Once it was explained, I feel like it's no longer.
He's the only guy who believes in him, so yes, that's his father figure. Those two buildings look like the Petronas Towers. They used to be the tallest buildings in the world for most of my life. In Kuala Lumpur.
How Grandpa watches without his glasses.
Honestly, if I take off my glasses, the blur is what I would see.
I don't know.
As I said,
feel
the
like
human biology sucks. We need to replace ourselves with cybernetic implants.
This movie has a few unbelievable things. The most unbelievable thing is here Starfleet's like enforcing the Prime Directive violation on a captain. Like, since when did they do that? There's never been a court-martial for Picard or Kirk for Prime Directive.
Except that one time a crazy lady was yelling at him about it.
Yeah, I mean,
that wasn't for...
he gets a slap on the wrist.
And then Vice
Picard
Admiral Henry
tended to
came in and was
stick
like,
to
"What's
it."
wrong with you? Who cares?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
Picard did to stick to it more than other
The
captains.
WW
though. Like, he
moment with Spock.
would just leave people to die because Prime Directive. Then usually someone else would get involved and they'd end up doing the right thing anyway. But Picard typically wasn't the one doing it.
Yeah,
For
but
every
then
10
Insurrection was
species
all
you let
about-
die a pointless death, you get a free punch card that lets you
Right.
violate the Prime Directive one time.
Admiral
That's how
Spock has a
Insurrection
few
came
built
about.
up. Or,
I've taken
Picard
down
does.
bigger men than you, Picard.
Yeah, that's true. Hey, this is RoboCop.
It's RoboCop.
I'm that
Also,
racist guy from Enterprise.
yes, Terra
it's an Enterprise?
Prime. Yeah, he's the
Yeah.
Terra Prime cult leader.
Oh, he is.
Yeah.
Of course he is. God, does he ever play a good guy? Wait, is RoboCop a good guy?
Yeah, RoboCop.
John Harrison.
RoboCop's
Yeah.
the best good guy. But yeah,
RoboCop.
he's the
Is he?
archetype of good
Wait.
guy.
Is that the same movie where, they build a
RoboCop is
robot
American
that guns
Jesus.
down a room of executives?
Oh, this is a
Yeah.
Yeah.
really interesting camera.
But it wasn't RoboCop that did that.
No, that was
Right.
RoboCop.
No.
What time
that
do you
was at
assume that
209.
takes
Shut up.
scans or everything?
Oh, okay, right. He just guns down one executive and shoots him out the window. Right.
That's the end. That's the bad guy.
Yeah, but
He's no longer an executive because he got fired. That's how he could shoot him.
Yeah.
Come quietly, or
So
there'll
you're
be
still wrong.
trouble. John Harrison, 100% not a character we have previously seen.
Yeah, no, he's a totally new guy.
John Harrison. He's a Section 31 dude, right?
We don't know that yet. But
Yeah, we do.
Dominic
Oh,
Keating
spoilers.
admitted to auditioning for the first Star Trek Kelvin movie.
What? Why would he be? Well,
Really? What would he be?
Like, we already had Enterprise.
So this is the other unrealistic thing about this movie. I have seen the firepower of a Cobra or Apache attack helicopter the United States military uses. If you fire that into a skyscraper of a room, and Kirk is the one standing right in front of the window. So if you just use our firepower today from an attack helicopter, everybody in that room is incinerated. I'm sorry to tell you. And there's no way Kirk is standing there, Chris Pine, handsome as he is, in front of the window and just survive.
It's because they're firing blasters as opposed to a rocket or anything like that, and he just doesn't go for Kirk immediately.
No, but Kirk's standing right in front of it as he starts firing.
But yeah, he could totally just detonate the entire room with one shot.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any survivors to this attack, unfortunately.
God, I can just... He got out of the wheelchair for 5 minutes, and now he's dying.
Yeah.
Cannot catch a break.
The first half of this movie is an okay Trek movie.
But anyway, it's a good action sequence because you never see...
Vidal Sassoon alert.
You never see this. And it's kind of cool how Kirk figures out. First he attacks the archives, then he lures the command to meet at this bunker, and then he's attacking Starfleet Command. So he's a pure psychopath.
Yes, an archive. It was totally just a library. Don't worry about it.
The hell?
That's the fire hose.
So it's got a jet engine in this thing?
Yeah.
It's an intake.
For what?
The deflector array.
So it can fly.
Why does it need an air intake? We don't need air intakes.
All ships have an intake in Star Trek.
Clearly,
they have Bassard collectors.
Benedict Cumberbatch.
This should be an electric helicopter. You're right. But the thing is, though, we didn't have that much lithium ion going on in those days, and also, like, we didn't have CRISPR in those days. Nowadays, we wouldn't be able to show CRISPR fixed disease. So, oh wow, that's a nice shot.
God, for Vulcans every time. What is with this species? They keep mind melding with everybody. They have a serious problem.
And that means that memory is going to get transferred to Picard or whoever he mind melts with next. Because remember, Picard has Sarek and Spock's memories. So when your mentor dies, it's a real epiphany.
Sad.
You were the only one who believed in me.
All right, Jim. Now you channel your personal anger into militarization of a peacekeeping force. Let's do a little bit of murder. A little murder.
As a treat.
It's too bad Janeway isn't born yet. She would have done it. Is Janeway born yet, actually? Wait, is there like a baby Janeway somewhere right now?
No,
I don't think so.
Yeah.
No, it's like a century.
It's like 7 years.
2250.
Between Original series in next gen, right?
Yeah. About 80 years, 90 years. But yeah, you couldn't
Like
show
Tuvok has been born, but
right.
yeah.
You couldn't show skyscraper attacks, but this is like 2013 now, so you could show a little bit more of painful stuff like that. Pretty graphic how the helicopter fell onto a crowd of people too.
Mm.
Viewer discretion is advised. I like how Kronos figures into this movie. Yeah, actually, speaking of 9/11 analogies, so the way Bin Laden was
Transporter
in
rules in these movies is kind of stupid.
Yeah, because he
But
was like 50,000.
It's alternate universe science.
The Dominion has that long range transporter tech, though. But
Wait, look at that guy in the background on the bottom screen. Oh, I don't know if we're going to see it again. Some news reporter was wearing a sleeveless vest. Who does that? That's illegal.
Yeah, it's too futuristic for me.
You are Jim.
But,
You are Starfleet.
What do you mean, Jim? Where are you gonna? You're gonna go in the Enterprise, the biggest ship you have. It's not gonna be subtle. Oh, NX-01. Where? There it is. Yes.
Yeah.
Woo!
It's an actual Edomos model as well.
Yes, that's the same one I have.
Yep, I do.
I still think the NX-01 is the best ship.
In the video game, you can use the gun to shoot one person to warp them somewhere else.
No, see, that's just a reference to TNG from the two-parter Gambit.
Kronos
Some
is in
rando
this
pirates
movie
had
for
that
nostalgia
tag.
reasons.
And then DS9 had the transporter bullet.
Seems so excessive. It'd probably be easier if you have that tech to just transport part of the person's body out of them.
If I transport your brain out of your skull,
then you die. Also, is that his evil ship on the end of there?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very subtle. His
It's
secret
definitely
project.
like-
You can tell it's evil because they painted it a different color.
One of those is the Antares class starship the United States was building around 2004, 2008 onwards. Shuttle.
And Section 31, of course, being the ones making the torpedo and the ship.
And specifically recruiting Kirk for this because he's inexperienced and gullible.
So Hugo Boss made uniforms for the Italians during the Mussolini era. Fascists do love looking good.
I don't know about
And,
these
like,
flight suits, though. They look sort of like upholstery.
Look, they are a little overdone.
These
but
Kelvin
they're
admirals
clearly...
should just tell Kirk to go fuck himself and give Spock command.
Yeah, probably. Wait, no. Spock, there's two of them.
Yeah.
Spock spoke
So
to
these
himself at the end of
torpedoes are warp capable, or are they just going to be going to Harrison's location for like 80 years? Or does the neutral zone just like start at the very edge of the Klingon system?
they have a warp sustainer, so you have to get up to warp and then fire it, and then it sustains it for a little while.
Oh man, she's wearing the upholstery too.
Oh.
Everybody is. No, Jim. Get out of here, Rick Berman.
Something I want to compliment though is that Usually the captain doesn't get a love interest, and here we get Carol Marcus with some.
What do you mean usually the actors a love interest? That's all of TOS.
Yeah.
What I mean is like you don't get one that stays, you know? Like even Carol Marcus in TOS. Like,
we even lose Kirk's real love interest, the Enterprise.
Yeah.
I don't know if Hugo Boss did Italian uniforms, but he did the Nazi uniforms.
Yep.
So I don't know if they did the Italian.
Is he the
Class
baddie?
8 probes can go warp 9.
I can't say that you're wrong.
They shot
You're
Keelar
wrong,
to the
but-
Enterprise in one of those.
I don't know. Hugo Boss. Let's see. Hugo.
Well, I'm glad you learned
Boss,
something.
Italian uniform. Well, no, there's no evidence that
Can
he
I
did
cook
the
or
Italian
can't I?
uniform. So.
You learned about the Nazi ones.
No, I already knew that.
Oh, okay.
Okay, we're moving on from the Nazis. The Nazis are
there's
over.
the
Hey, subtitle's wrong. He clearly said Kenne. With an AE
I
at the
cannot
end.
sign off. Captain, didn't sign that paper. It'll bring the ghost.
My dad wears Boss perfume.
I don't know what that is. Where are they? Are they in like a
It's
NASA
the,
science lab or something?
It's a nuclear fusion reactor.
Oh wow,
Sick.
it looks amazing.
Hopefully it has a better power output ratio than a nuclear fusion reactor. I have to assume the scientists who work in this facility are thrilled by it. I just assume that scientists
It's a
all love Star
brewery.
Trek. Oh, Jim. Not supposed to call his bluff, Jim. Just rude.
This
Yeah, it
was
looks like it was.
dramatic tension because like Scotty refuses, right? To
Oh, he's just resigned.
Dinner. Oh, he said do not. No, you can't do that. You're Scotty. Dinner, use those torpedoes. Come on.
He's
Isn't that
too serious right now.
Yeah. He's emphasizing. He's speaking slowly.
Oh, is he resigning too, or is
They
he
are
just...
magic torpedoes
Yep,
that
they
somehow
resign
have
together.
enough room to fit an
Oh.
entire
However-
person along with the warhead.
They're not
Might
out
as
of the
well
movie.
fit an entire warp drive in them too.
I don't think there is a warhead,
there is no
to be
warhead.
honest.
It's
No, I
just
don't think the
people.
person is the warhead.
No, there is a warhead. They have to defuse it. Mrs. Marcus, Dr. Marcus, she has to.
No, they tried to defuse it, but then it opens up and there was no warhead at all. It's just a dude.
Oh, right. Okay.
They're freaking out that it's going to
They'll be
explode, but
back.
no, it's just a cryotube.
I mean, remember Kalar?
Also, the real
Kalar
warhead is Admiral Marcus.
Kalar arrives in a shuttle pod. Spock
It
arrives
was a
in
modified
shuttle pod.
torpedo.
Yeah, Spock arrives.
Kalar
in,
was in a torpedo.
and then Spock arrives in a probe thing at warp speed.
Wasn't
So we
Kalar
do
in a
have this
probe?
yeah. I mean, we all know what we're talking about. We don't have to.
But the details, though.
Okay. It's just tedious.
Data response at Starbase 153 had no available vessels, so the envoy is coming to the Enterprise aboard a Class 8 probe,
Okay, gracias.
which just happens to use exactly the same prop as a torpedo.
Mm. I mean, when you modify a torpedo, it becomes a Class B probe anyway. In Star Trek 6.
It's
Oh, we get a
probing
lot
your
of-
defenses.
We had a lot of exterior shots. Beautiful ones.
Wait, how long did they take over this fusion reactor?
The fear on Chekhov's face after being told to put on a red shirt.
I mean, he does die.
He acts really well here when he has to run to the engineer.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate that the actor died. He was
You
an
shouldn't have put on the shirt.
excellent.
He really was. He really was. I see it the most in this film.
Yeah,
And he didn't make it to the next one, right?
I believe so.
No.
No, he was in it.
Oh, he was. Okay. Because Chekhov was
In the
supposed to be
third-
younger than the rest.
Not in this
17
film,
today.
though.
So now he's what, 18?
Yeah.
17 in the last movie. Yeah, in the
Yes, he
next movie
did.
they talk about how he died, and they're like, oh yeah, I thought he would be a vodka guy. Get it? Because he's Russian?
Mm-hmm.
Died after Beyond his film.
Yeah, he was in the
Chekhov's
film.
fate
Which
TBD.
died before it came out.
Rest in peace.
Okay, so Jim's only going a little. He backed away from the fascism.
But can we have a little genocide as a treat?
I don't think we have any genocide in these movies. We have a couple of attempts.
A little
I don't think there's
genocide
any
as a
successful
treat.
genocides.
If you killed the last of the genetically engineered people, that is genocide.
Well, they're still
He's on the
humans.
Well, they're
Reliant.
still human, yeah.
No, but they're Homo superior. They're not Homo sapiens.
I mean, it depends upon how you classify it.
Yeah.
Genocide is genocide for any group of people. It doesn't necessarily.
I think
not
that's
all
just something
humans.
they called themselves. I don't think that was
Don't-
actually for the species.
Don't put
Is
yourself
there a
in
minimum
context.
count to be genocide? Like you can't genocide
How
an
many-
individual family.
Would
I think-
destroying data be genocide?
So that's true. Culture. If you
He's
stop
one of
people from
one.
speaking their language or practicing their culture, that is a form of genocide. So the definition gets hazier because there's different ways to. You don't have to kill them all. You can kick them all out of a certain area. That counts as genocide.
Or you can kill them. Not just the men, but the women.
Mm.
The children, too.
The younglings.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
You let Chekhov take control of the warp core for one warp jump. This is what happens when you lose Scotty. This is all your fault, Jim.
This is a very hectic scene, and the actor does a great job. I gotta say, I appreciate this bridge so much compared to all the other bridges. It's so bright and airy, and the camera looks great as it's swinging around. This is the best bridge. The only thing is, though,
It looks kind of
TNG
painful
bridge-
to work in. It's too bright.
a lot of obstacles.
There's no
in the way.
privacy.
There's no feng shui to the movement. But what I'm saying is that, of course, TNG has those two levels which slope downwards. Nobody else pulls that off. Everyone else has an ugly step.
I feel like working on any of those science stations would be really uncomfortable because you can never see if anyone is behind you. So if Jim comes over and asks about something on your screen, you're going to freak out for a second. It's going to startle you. But then everything is really shiny. Maybe you can see the reflection of the whole bridge.
Strange New Worlds Bridge is like twice the size than this one is.
Yeah.
They had to have room for everybody's ego.
I don't know if this stream has room for your ego.
I keep it under check most of
The
the time.
mud incident last month.
Mud incident.
Wow. What happened that time? Was there a space whale involved? Oh, it's Cupcake. He's still here. They brought back this extra.
Oh, no way. He's the most unlikable guy.
Why? Just because he has a goatee?
You want to punch him. Remember, because like they were trying to keep Kirk off the ship.
Well, that's based on an actual image of the.
Yeah, that's the Pillars of Creation.
Oh wow!
Apparently, this is where Kronos is. It's in, what is it, the Eagle Nebula?
Oh, so
also, I
after
assume that was Praxis.
Blown up, yeah. After 9/11, the leader of Al Qaeda hung out in Pakistan, so it was very difficult for the United States to get to him because we were in Afghanistan across the border. So same here. How do you get to the fugitive across the border who perpetrated a massive terrorist attack?
You violate national sovereignty and do whatever you want, anyways. It's pretty much our MO.
You got to do what you
Okay,
got to
so
do.
apparently the Eagle Nebula is about 7,000 light years from Earth, and that's where Kronos is.
Confirmed.
Also, when you Google it, it says created April 1st, 1995, which I don't think is accurate. I feel like the Eagle Nebula has been there longer.
Archer was still a fugitive.
That must have been when Hubble gave us the picture.
Do you mean the entry for the entry in the whatever log?
Oh, they use the human spelling of Kronos. Gross.
Ew.
Oh, did they? Oh,
we haven't done that since
they
like
did
season 1 of
Kronos.
Gross.
And that's not even the Greek spelling of it. It's so yucky. Kronos was the father of Zeus in Greek mythology. And then, like, he was gonna eat all of his children, so like Zeus does something, like bursts out from inside his head. I don't know.
Well, yeah.
Zoe, leave him alone.
Yeah,
This
don't
kind
do
of
that.
works.
That's not okay.
She's right.
How do you man spelling?
No, it's not okay to bring someone into an argument like that.
Also, Kronos means time in Greek.
Those blue lights from
Well,
the
the
Enterprise
captain
Bridge
thinks blue
Discovery
paint
was
would
so
look good in
blinding.
our quarters.
Yeah, so this is great comedy because we never hear this Spock's romantic side.
I mean, we don't hear either. That's the whole point. Oh, you're gonna play the planet destruction card now, are you? Always with the planet being destroyed.
If
Oh
you
my
want a
god,
blue
Spock,
light, it will
Vulcan was
mean
destroyed
changing the
like
bulb.
2 years ago. Get over it. Though also, I don't know what Uhura was expecting. She's dating a Vulcan.
Yeah.
Of course he's going to react logically
You
to
didn't
it.
feel anything, you think?
Have you met Vulcans before? How do you even know if it's abandoned? This is Kronos.
Why, if it's been abandoned, why are they patrolling it? Like that?
Yeah.
Like,
what intel do you have on this planet that led you to that
patrol
conclusion?
makes no sense if it was abandoned.
Oh, are we going to TIE fighter them? Jim, this isn't a matter of trust. There are literal measurements you can make. Jim? What is wrong with you, Jim? No, you didn't lose them. They probably just went over because they have a spaceship. Also, there are some Federation deflector dishes in the debris. Somewhat concerning.
I can't wait for the intake. Uhura knows how to negotiate.
I remember there is one from the talking scene, but I don't remember what it is. I don't remember what Zoe does. I don't think we even get the... She doesn't even have to pull out the dictionary like TOS Uhura. He just goes for it.
Because Uhura is competent.
Seriously, these are clearly deflector dishes.
True.
Uhura's a little blurry in that shot when he was zooming in. Some comping going on.
They were referencing the original series where all the women were done in soft focus with Vaseline on the lens.
The Klingons are quite interesting in here.
So how about that series finale of Discovery? Has anybody watched that?
Yeah, it's really quite good.
No. Yeah, we're not spoiling anything. But
Not
yeah.
yet.
No spoilers. No spoilers, but you've seen it?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Though by the time we start Discovery, which is in 2 weeks, then the spoiler ban will be lifted. You can talk about it all you want. There's very spooky Klingons. No, Jim! Leave her alone! Oh, okay. Fair enough. I don't know why it's a pistol and not... Well, I guess it's a pistol and not a phaser because they're still trying to pretend they're not Starfleet.
Yep.
Ah.
How
We
would
recognize
humans
your
get this
treachery
far
by
into
your
space?
overused typography.
How would humans get this far into space if they're not Starfleet? Come on.
I've heard lots of crying and hugging was involved.
Oh, he's got like jewelry on his forehead ridges. I like this version of the Klingons better than the Discovery season 1 version of Klingons.
Yeah, it's all right.
This
I'm
is
still
more
not keen on the fact that they have them actually speaking Klingon. Because
sorry, go ahead.
Just because I like having Star Trek on in the background, and if people are speaking Klingon,
yeah,
I don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
I don't speak this language.
Context clues. Context clues. I feel like
I actually haven't seen Bank Gothic in a while. That font was everywhere. I guess right up until here. This must have been its last known sighting.
I use it on my resume. For my name.
Saved by Benedict Cumberbatch.
It was
Benedict, where did you even get that thing?
probably stole it from the Klingons.
He's got a laser bazooka.
The Klingons in season 1 Discovery look like they came out of the Jim Henson Creature Studio.
Amazon next day delivery.
And this man has none.
Okay, Robo, so the guns that they have, is that a real gun with bits glued onto it?
I need to see it again. I wasn't looking at it.
What about Khan's big space bazooka? What about his Spartan laser? Is that a real gun?
Not that I know of. From the glimpses I'm seeing, I think these are sculpts that
Pew pew.
Sculpts that were cast, like they made a sculpture of a weapon and they made a mold and they cast them or they vacuum formed them. But I'm trying to look up like stills on the internet. That gun might be something.
His rifle?
Yeah, well, it's more like a submachine gun, but I'm trying to see.
Oddly suspicious number, Con. Sorry, Benedict. John.
So I'm looking at the prop on Hero Prop. Authentic Hero Prop. Hero light up Klingon rifle used in production 2013. Yeah, it's a sculpt. It's just something that they invented for this.
Jim, I think you
Accept your
might get
surrender.
written up for that. I think Spock might report this.
The guy is just shrugging it off.
Yeah, you literally, you should have said, done the punches first, and then said, I accept your surrender. That would give you some plausible deniability.
Would it
Doesn't seem to be bothering him much.
It is not much, but he literally said, I accept your surrender. At that point, he's under your responsibility.
He's superhuman, Robo. He's a different species.
He's not a different species.
I've found the prop for the chain gun.
What happens on Konos?
What happens on Konos stays on Konos. You know, don't you know the rules? Those phaser rifles look like the ones from a little bit like the ones from First Contact. Definitely not like the ones from original series with like the tri-lobe design.
I was going to say the Mako rifle from Enterprise, slightly curved along the top.
The Mako rifles are plasma guns and not phasers. I should have ordered some food.
In X-Men, the evolved humans are a different species called Homo superior. They're not us.
In X-Men, because they literally like shoot beams out of their eyes and control the weather. I think that is a pretty substantial fork in the species.
Well, I mean, I don't mean to be a creationist, but you know, there's no definition of species. Really, it's kind of like an arbitrary thing.
Yeah,
No,
there
is.
Species. There is absolutely a definition.
What I'm saying
all
is
of our
that
language is a thing that we invented, so of course there can be a definition for a word in our language.
when exactly a species diverges is evolution's a gradient. We're the ones that create categories called this is a species, because if you say species can't breed between each other,
This exact thing is literally in biology 101, like literally in the class biology 101. They explain how it's determined.
but there are exceptions.
Don't they also explain that it's not actually like all that well defined?
Right. Like
The difference between one species and another, like
a horse and a donkey can breed, but they're not the same species. But
the horse and the donkey can breed, but the offspring is sterile.
Usually, there are some mules that are actually not sterile. But what I'm saying is though, you can breed. Like we can't breed with a chimpanzee, but you know there are.
No, you can't because we have two fewer chromosomes because two of our chromosomes merged into a single chromosome. So we have a different number of chromosomes. We cannot breed with a chimpanzee.
And yet the definition of species doesn't apply for that reason. Anyway.
What?
But what I'm saying is though, we use that as a definition, but there's an exception in the case of horses and donkeys.
Tigers and lions.
Anyway, we're going back to the militarism and fascism.
Ryan's like, all right, let's get off this topic. Let's go back to
Hey,
Nazis.
look, it's Benedict Cumberbatch.
Yes.
Did you see him in The Hobbit Part 2?
Yes.
The Desolation of Benedict?
He's the best villain of all time in that movie because that dragon is such a boss. Revenge! I'll show you revenge. And he proceeds to burn the whole town down.
I'm just surprised we don't have Martin Freeman in this movie. Him and Benedict are always hanging out.
Oh, wasn't Martin Freeman in Hobbit?
Yeah, he was the Hobbit.
Yeah,
yes.
The Hobbit 2: The Wrath of Smaug.
The title character.
He was Dr. Watson and he was Bilbo. Maybe it's Martin Freeman who's Scotty's little buddy. whose name I can never remember.
Ginzer.
Ginzer.
It's very Star Wars like that alien from.
Guess we're about to see. All right, tells you already.
Martin. So let's get married. Yes, do it.
But Benedict Cumberbatch also played Alan Turing in Enigma.
Deep Roy.
Who did Martin play in that movie?
I don't think he was in it.
I think Martin Freeman was playing Keira Knightley in that movie.
Yeah.
Oh my god, just text it to him, Jim. Do you not have text messaging in the future?
I thought Starfleet comm badges didn't have this capability, and like Picard invented it when Beverly sends the TNG comm badge to communicate from the edge of space. But apparently, the communicators are just fine as cell phones. They're pagers. Something crazy about this film, though. So this mission is really a black op that's authorized by Admiral Marcus. They're really not on a Starfleet assignment here.
Corn-fed mind?
That's
Is that
Iowa
an expression?
Reference. That's for Iowa. That's racist against people from Iowa.
Iowans are not a race. Just
Well,
just heads up.
Maybe Iowans are a different species.
They're made of corn for sure.
I mean, based on
so much as so you are made of corn.
Based on America's agriculture industry, I think most of us here are corn. Most of us Americans are corn.
I mean, I'm corn syrup, yeah.
I'm pretty sure there's a whole bunch of corn products in a lot of the things you eat.
Corn's not
Spock,
digestible.
God, what are you? Are you a Benzite or something? You're supposed to volunteer information. Well, why would he do that? That's crazy. Don't involve your daughter in your secret militarism coup.
No, he didn't know she was on this ship.
But why did he give her access at all, regardless of where she was?
Yeah.
Who I don't think have we seen her?
No, Nurse Chapel doesn't exist in these movies.
But she's mentioned.
But we don't see.
No, she does exist, but
yeah.
Actually, we might see her in the background of a sick bay shot. Also, you prepare for Rick Berman.
We were
what are you doing in this movie, Berman? Stop it.
Well, yeah. They put it. The color is the same color scheme as the rest of the movie of her lingerie. Oh wow, an actual view screen.
So apparently, we see the back of Nurse Chapel's head in one of the sickbay shots. Or rather, we see somebody in sickbay who's probably a woman that might be Nurse Chapel.
So Uhura becomes Spock's love interest. So we don't need Nurse Chapel for the Kelvin timeline.
Is there no Nurse Chapel on the Kelvin timeline?
She's there. We just see the back of her.
We're just talking about.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm.
But why male models?
I'm watching multiple things simultaneously.
You were rewinding the lingerie shot, so.
No, I mean that's like the whole reason she's in that movie, right?
Ferdinand Dawn, they've already encountered the door and operated on them apparently.
But Gorn don't get pregnant. Gorn make other people pregnant. Who did you cut open, Bones?
It could be different parts of their species, maybe.
I like the outdoor shot scene that they have going on here. It's very Mojave Desert, but still nice black sand.
What do you mean it can't differentiate? How can it not? What kind of garbage transporter is this? Who built this?
Yeah.
How does Gorn get pregant?
How does Gorn know if pregante? Is Gorn pregnant?
Pregante.
Am I pregnant? I feel like if you can't spell pregnant, you shouldn't be having sex. Let's see.
Yeah, that doesn't stop anyone. What you're saying is you're in favor of abstinence-only education?
I'm in favor of forced sterilization and reproduction licenses.
Again with the Nazi talk, man.
No, I'm not going to sterilize anybody because of
so easy it's
certain
stupid.
things. I'm just going to
You're
sterilize
just going to sterilize
everybody.
all children until they know how to spell the word pregnant.
I'm not sterilizing.
I mean,
I'm not sterilizing a targeted group. I'm just saying we shouldn't be allowed to reproduce without getting like a license that shows that you're capable of
I'm pretty sure requiring the permission of the state to reproduce is literally part of the definition of genocide.
So, all right.
There's a beautiful shot of Jupiter.
Maybe we don't give the state that much control.
We don't get.
I can see both sides of the argument
because is hiding in with a giant antenna.
So two people or one person is going to become responsible for raising another life, and I feel like that new individual has certain rights, like the whoever is having them is going to be able to provide for them responsibly and raise them in a way where they're not like abusive or whatever. So like I guess I get your point about the state not having control over that, but at the same time it's like there's a lot of parents who are really shitty parents that shouldn't be parents. You know what I'm saying? And also we have a serious overpopulation problem right now.
Dual censorship.
No forehead. Everything's fine.
So we don't know he's Khan yet, right? Because they're not calling it the...
Yeah, he hasn't said, my name is Benedict
Harrison.
But like, if some dude came to my door and tried to collect taxes and said, my name is George, I wouldn't think it was the tyrant King George III. Khan's a pretty common name.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, complete tangent here. My neighbor behind me, like directly behind my property, for the last like 4 months has been slowly taking their house apart, like literally brick by brick, and I don't know what their goal is. So they've stripped all the bricks off the outside of the house, and then they stripped all the insulation off the outside of the house.
Here's the scene where the movie takes a nosedive.
And now they're down to like the plywood. I don't know what they're doing.
Sounds like new insulation.
They're rebuilding their house somewhere else with the same materials.
So
Taking
you
it
say
home with
that,
them.
but literally, so like I live in Detroit, and there's the Henry Ford Museum, or they call it the Henry Ford now, and that's literally what they did. So there's like all these historical homes and buildings at the Henry Ford, and they did that. They took the homes apart wherever they were, and then they shipped them here, and they reassembled them at the museum, which is like, is it even the same house at that point?
He said the thing.
He said the meme.
So the first Kelvin movie, I feel like, was like the motion picture with the giant probe arriving. The second Kelvin movie, this one is very much like the Wrath of Khan.
It's literally what they tried to do, but sure.
But what I'm saying is, and then the third one, is also like.
It's interesting you think that because that's exactly what they were going for.
Do you think they put Khan through engineering school to catch him up?
Yeah, they must have.
So 300 years of learning, that's a lot to catch up on.
As much as Khan is the bad guy, though, he's like the most
I
empathetic
mean, it is
villain.
Wrath of Khan.
Yeah.
Because, you know, like the same way a captain would look out for his crew, he's just looking out for his people. That's why he surrendered.
I mean, he's literally Moses, all right?
Yeah. And
that's
also,
actually a pretty close allegory.
and also, Marcus would be Pharaoh, Admiral Marcus, because he is. If Marcus wasn't so cruel, we wouldn't have had that terrorist attack.
I don't remember Moses committing genocide in the Bible. Is that a thing?
Well, he called.
Khan
the plague
definitely
down
killed
and
a lot
all
of people in the
firstborn
90s.
sons. Killed all the firstborn sons of the Egyptians, right?
It's not genocide because they got to keep their other sons and daughters.
Okay, I feel like we're splitting hairs now.
Just like Moses was splitting skulls, am I right?
I mean, is a genocide still a genocide if you didn't finish the job?
No MacGyver to temper him.
Kurtzman and Orky wrote this knowing people are stupid and never watched or heard of Wrath of Khan.
What, are we arresting people for attempted murder now?
Yeah.
But yeah, so he was basically Admiral Marcus's lab rat, and that's why he's so sad. Very empathetic villain.
No, he has the exact same speech patterns as Smaug. He's delivering his lines exactly the same.
He's just playing. He's himself, dude. He's himself in every movie.
He talks different in Sherlock. Those are the only three things I've seen him in.
So Smaug is.
He also
bitter.
talks differently in Doctor Strange because he has an American accent.
He's bitter and vengeful, so that's something in common with
House's dialect coach, though.
Sorry.
It's always so confusing when British actors are playing Americans.
Some of House's weird kind of there's this sound that he makes all the time that House also says.
Oh, it does the Reaper sound that all evil spaceships do.
The Reaper sound.
And the deflector gets sealed behind it. It's not needed at impulse.
The bois sound.
What's this ship called? The
Vengeance.
Oh, thank you.
It's very subtle.
And it's also like 50 times the size of the Enterprise.
All the Calvin ships are like 3 times as powerful as the Prime Timeline ships for no apparent reason.
Well, I mean, like the TOS ships in real life scale, they're really small. Like the Enterprise is smaller than our aircraft carriers.
Right.
Yeah, they're like realistic. They're realistic.
Well, you got to launch them into space. So
I mean, more realistic at least.
But we're building things bigger than them now.
But we're not putting them like in
putting
orbit.
those into space. Yeah. Like the giant bulldozer that they use for like strip mining. That's like humongous.
I mean, even these giant ships, the container ships, are like mind-boggling with the volume that they hold.
Aircraft carriers are pretty wild.
Marcus, quit monologuing and just kill them.
I've made a mistake. Now it's time to correct that mistake.
My baby's.
I had to kill Bob Morton because he made a mistake.
It is really quite interesting. This movie has 2 overlapping antagonists.
So did you notice that Kirk's wound here is the Delta?
It's Khan and Marcus.
That's just saying, Khan isn't the bad guy in this movie. Khan is an empathetic.
He's an antagonist.
Tragic hero.
He's a bad guy still.
He's
an antagonist.
He's a tragic hero.
Just because you're the bad guy doesn't mean you're a bad guy.
What does it make you when you threaten and actively tried to destroy the Enterprise out of spite.
Okay, right. No, so actually,
I mean, who hasn't?
Marcus would be the tragic hero because in Shakespeare, a tragic hero is somebody because of their own character flaws causes their own downfall. So Khan is the bad guy, and he's the tragic hero.
I mean, bad guys cause their own downfall all the time. That's not.
Yep.
But like, in other words, he was just trying to
Not
help the
unusual.
Federation beat the Klingons. He had good motives, but that's why he winds up.
They also often have good motives.
Like Macbeth's a tragic
feel
hero
like-
because he just wants to be king, and he winds up doing whatever he does.
I feel like we need to rewatch In
dead.
the Pale Moonlight now.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Cisco doesn't cause his own downfall. Cisco's the emissary.
What are you talking about? He literally causes his own downfall. He jumps off the
We win
cliff
the war.
He
in the
falls down
fire
a hill.
caves. Like,
We win the
you
war.
cannot get more literal than that.
No,
There will be
he
a
wins
penance.
He wins the war with the spiritual demons.
Bye. Okay, Kirk, I appreciate this move. Thank you. Just leave.
Peer review.
Yeah.
He literally caused his own downfall because he jumped off of a cliff in the fire cave.
Okay. Pun intended.
Worth it.
But
All over the
Admiral-
bridge, really?
the more
Here's the question: Did Kai Wynn redeem herself at the very end there,
yes,
or did she only do that because she realized she wasn't the one who was going to get all the power? I think she only did it because she realized that she wasn't going to get any of the power. It was never her; it was always him.
I don't know. That's a tough one because she does turn to the dark side at the end. She does worship the pirates.
Yeah, and then the only reason she thinks it was a mistake is when she realized that the pirates were just using her to enable Dukat.
The dark
wait,
side of the
and that's when
path
she
is
was
a
like-
pathway to many abilities.
Yeah, that's not redemptive.
Where's the
Yeah, yeah.
damage?
No.
Major hull damage.
But
Yeah, why was
some
that an
people just got-
android? Who was that guy?
some people just got sucked out into space at warp speed. So
Blown out is the correct
Thank you, Mr.
term.
Data.
thanks.
You're welcome. I mean, it wouldn't be a Star Trek stream if I didn't quote Data correcting. Who was he correcting? Riker?
Riker.
I think it was Riker or
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
Riker.
I mean,
Also,
technically,
there-
vacuum
we can
don't-
see Earth. We're right by the moon. Starfleet can see us.
Yeah.
Do they want to do something about this?
Mm-mm.
The Enterprise is the only ship in range.
But we're in orbit of
Always.
Earth.
The
but
more
all of its critical equipment won't be installed until Tuesday.
Don't
The
worry
Earth's
about it.
equipment.
Tuesday.
the more pips an admiral has, the more evil he or she is. So like this guy had
Well,
the
yeah,
full
that's how
5.
they became an admiral. Like you had
The
to.
He has full 5 bicycle chains.
You don't get that. You don't get to be an admiral because you were nice.
How does he beam people with shields up though? But anyway,
Don't think about it.
Advanced tech.
it's Section 31 tech. Great acting by Chris Pine over here. I
Yep.
can't say I like him as an actor.
I mean, it's okay.
no.
It's
he
okay. He doesn't like you either.
But I'm saying like he just jumps in with the point where Khan is doing the same thing. It's about my people. Like I don't care what happens to me.
Let
Th-
my
these-
people go.
These Kelvin movies have good leadership lessons. I gotta say.
Charlton Heston's gonna pop out here in a moment.
Ooh, that's a
Reminds
very...
me of Ilya
that a
disappearing in the
railgun?
motion picture.
Good thing it takes them so long to load their weapon.
It's like a Halo gun.
That's a lot of dramatic tension they're building up there.
Yeah. She's a predator.
Marcus, stop being dramatic. Just kill them. You have torpedoes.
He
Just
wants
kill
to
them.
fire the big gun on them.
Star Trek Nemesis
He wants to play with his toy.
Yeah. Star Trek Nemesis was peak villain ship. After that, it's all derivative.
What?
Yeah. The scimitar.
Oh, villain ship. I got you. I thought you meant villain ship. Like,
Nero.
I was like, I don't know. Nero was kind of meh.
Shinzon. Sorry.
Shinzon, yes. Nero was also kind of meh.
Yeah.
Well, if they need power for the transporter,
Shinzon.
why don't they just turn down the lights on the bridge? That works everywhere else.
I don't know why I thought.
Is it that they're turning the lights down, or is it that they're reducing power everywhere, and as a side effect, the lights dim?
It's a consequence of looking dramatic.
Well, how else are they supposed to communicate that they're like reducing power usage to the audience other than dimming the lights?
They play the dwoo sound.
Yeah.
Where it starts high pitch and gets low pitch. You know, like R2-D2 when he's sad.
Yeah. Or when he's woo, wonderful.
I really thought we would have called Old Spock by now. I thought that was earlier in the movie.
For some reason, I thought Into Darkness was the third one, and Beyond was the second one. It's been that long since these movies came out.
Now that these movies are old, are they as cheesy as the old movies? Older?
Yeah, they are. The thing with Kirk dying in this movie is really cheesy. Sorry to say.
Yeah.
It thought so
Ship
too.
Out of danger. You took the whole. You have to give us that much fan service that you were quoting. Kirk was quoting Spock from the other
Yes.
timeline. Okay, thanks. You're my friend.
Wow, look at that posture on him. Is that what's superior?
Yes.
Really, Dreadnought class? Come on, guys.
I think we talk to old Spock any minute now.
They played too many Armada games. You know, in fairness, in DS9, when they had the genetically engineered people working for Starfleet and doing the whole Dominion War calculations, we are not above using these eggheads for their smarts.
Bones, is this really appropriate for the scene? Why are you doing this in the background? There's a dramatic moment going on. I guess he's really dedicated to his work. Like I get it's foreshadowing for when they have to resurrect Kirk at the end, but like,
yeah, no, the juxtaposition is ridiculous. Like, why am I looking at Khan and a triple at the same time? It's like when Worf was wearing the triple in that Trials and Tribulations episode.
Here's the tool to Vulcan.
Line. Oh, right. Space jump. I like the debris just hanging out. They're in space. Gonna be maybe not a great plan to just jump out the ship, but whatever. Okay, see, they are using different spacesuits now because they're not heat-resistant spacesuits. They're just regular jumpsuits.
Yeah.
They don't have the bronze.
Yeah, something about the beginning of this movie I forgot. The amount of power it would take to freeze an erupting volcano is just not. It's more than one fusion.
It was
reactor.
a cold fusion device.
Okay, but it's more than one fusion reactor. I would say that.
It's also not what cold fusion is.
It's very true.
Do you think they actually made Simon run? Or did they use a stunt double for the jog?
Oh, they had this in...
Do they really have to explain what "we" means?
Yeah.
To either the captain or the audience, for that matter?
They did this in Nemesis when Data had to jump out.
This ship is too big. If I don't run, the movie will be over.
But it was a very clever way to sneak onto the enemy's ship. Scotty like warped into
He
here,
is
right?
crouching better.
Well, Scotty was on the ship, so he snuck on at the station.
Oh, okay, right. Thank you.
He snuck on at Jupiter.
Right. Jupiter looked beautiful, by the way, in that shot. I think I mentioned it at the time, but I just want to say again. Jupiter is the most gorgeous planet, especially that red spot. Plus, looking at Jupiter makes me hungry for soup.
The silence of space. That's always a nice touch when shows do that.
Yeah.
Oh, no, it's not silent anymore.
It was nice for a second there.
I guess we can't have the whole scene like that. Because this is a pretty long sequence.
That's what I'm saying. It's a movie.
I mean, you can. Gravity did.
But
You
this is an
wouldn't get the
action
whizzing.
movie.
Whizzing. We're trying to sell tickets here, not put people to sleep.
Gravity was not. It was definitely quite exciting, even in scenes without sound in them.
This is pretty exciting because we're about to see Kirk go splat into a door.
But he has the video game HUD. Spock marked it on his map.
Yeah, but if Scotty doesn't open
He literally
that
has the Fable trail.
I mean, look, these days everybody's car has a backup camera, so that's what he has.
And of course, Khan's going to be totally unscathed, unlike... Never mind. I thought you were better, Khan. What happened to being superior? By 473 degrees, what does that mean? Degrees only go up to 365. You have to do a modulo. Oh, yeah, Khan's fine. Because he's better.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Kirk's helmet is cracked, so
he'll be fine.
precarious. I mean, Scotty has yet to open that door. We're like hurtling towards our own pancake right now.
Oh, what, dude, shoot him. What's wrong with you, private security? Look, if we're going to be doing a military coup and creating a fascist dictatorship, go all in. Don't hold people at gunpoint, kill them.
So I'm watching a video of like traffic fails or like instant karma traffic stuff.
How are they still rolling?
They have a runway.
Inertia.
They have a runway.
Very fast.
That was a lot of inertia.
Well, he broke his
that
helmet.
was ludicrous.
So the captions of the video say the girl in green Honda was riding my bumper the whole time, and he moves over and he's like, "Here she comes," and into the frame moves a red Honda. I'm like, is the person who videotaped this, narrated it, and put the caption on colorblind? Red green colorblind?
Could be.
Here we are.
Spock!
How is that more entertaining than Star Trek Into Darkness? Oh, Leonard Nimoy.
But it's Mr. Spock. We love Mr. Spock.
She has that "I want to talk to your admiral" haircut.
Oh, we should have given Carol a gun.
It's very emotional, though. What Leonard Nimoy has to say to young Spock is that, "I can't tell you much, but Khan is the most dangerous villain we ever encountered." Because, he was quoting Moby Dick before Picard was quoting Moby Dick. So,
Khan, I watched Khan's YouTube videos to get me into the Vulcan Science Academy.
Khan Academy.
Very informative about JavaScript.
So, how often do you get this? Talk to my future self. Phone a friend.
We do it once in Enterprise with DePaul.
I feel like old Spock's insight is fucking useless because he's from a completely different
Khan
timeline.
is a mean person.
Different a lot of character stuff though.
Bad guy.
Khan's a huge jerk, and you should probably do something about it. Okay, I really thought we were going to get a picture of Ricardo Montalban on there.
And his chest.
I think we're going to end this movie with 0 Ricardo Montalbans.
Why didn't Benedict Cumberbatch get a huge chest for this movie? I feel like he didn't put enough into the part. Also, Section 31 is such a wimp in this movie. I don't think Admiral Ross would have messed up this much. Sloane's dead. Admiral? Where's Sloane?
Sloane walks out of the closet.
Hey, he said the thing.
Yep.
What did he say? I missed it.
I'm a doctor, not a...
I'm a doctor, not a torpedo technician.
Even though he does torpedo surgery in Star Trek 6. Doctor, would you care to assist me in doing some surgery on a torpedo? I'd be delighted.
Okay, so he can be a torpedo technician's assistant then.
Okay, right.
Okay, we got to the bridge. Stun him. Remember, you said as soon as we get to the bridge? Remember that, Jim?
Oh, okay.
There we go.
So, in the last film, when they had Admiral
Scotty, take his gun.
Pike, when they had Admiral Pike on the Nero ship, it reminded me of when the Sona had Admiral Dougherty with his face getting ripped off in Star Trek Insurrection. Here, Khan crushes his face whereas Admiral Darity had his skin ripped off. So I like the whole. You're normally not supposed to hit someone in the face, but if you're gonna do it, you may as well do it with your thumbs. Just crush.
If you're gonna do something, you gotta commit to it.
Also, I gotta
Scotty,
say,
maybe you should commit to stunning Khan again and taking his gun.
the direction and editing is so good. They don't use special
Oh my
effects.
god, you weren't even watching him.
When Cumberbatch crushes Marcus's head, they just have the camera at a certain angle and the acting and the screaming. Good job. Oh wow. This is like a Vulcan human fight or a Vulcan Klingon fight. You should have no chance. You should be stomped already. Oh.
My name is. I was not gonna say.
Oh.
Neo?
Yeah, I think Admiral Darity is the most gruesome death. Then this film came out with this. For the most.
It was off screen because JJ was a coward.
This is more like a Mortal Kombat fatality.
We should have seen his head explode.
Yeah. We were robbed. But the way the daughter screams shows you the horror of the scene more than enough.
You just have to picture it. And it
happened in Game of Thrones, and I'm just as happy not to have seen it again myself.
Oh, the head crushing?
Pedro Pascal?
Early.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oberyn.
Or Pedro.
Oberyn Martell.
He's all right. I like how Pedro has now been typecast as protective dad. Protective single dad, specifically.
Yeah.
Protective brother.
Hauling, magical child. Yeah. Escorting a magical child through danger.
Escorting magical child through danger.
Yeah, man. He had Grogu and he had Ellie.
That's his whole thing now.
I'm pretty sure there were more, but I don't remember offhand.
Literally behind the After Cell is a bit of a funny line that doesn't really make sense.
I find it funny that in The Last of Us they had to give him a tragic backstory, like he lost his daughter, to make it make sense that this hard man would want to protect this girl.
Did he have that before?
But in The Mandalorian,
yes.
They just made the child really, really cute, and no one needed further explanation. Like, no, absolutely, he will protect Baby Yoda.
I do like Khan's "Shall we begin?" That was a good line. Very dramatic, Khan. See, he embraces technicality. The torpedoes are his. He didn't say nothing about the people in them.
He's actually a really brilliant actor. Just his fame means he doesn't have to try so hard.
It's just that people keep putting him in everything.
Yeah.
He's the Chris Pratt of sci-fi.
Great. Why wouldn't they?
Because
he should be in everything.
The way he was in Turing, he was very sensitive and intelligent, likable.
He's really the Vaughn Armstrong of movies.
I don't think he should have been cast as Khan. I don't know why. I just think Khan is a passionate villain, and this guy's more like the cold, calculating.
We did cast a Mexican actor for an Indian character, and then we replaced the Mexican actor with a British actor.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, India was at one point
British.
Part of the British Empire.
Who was the kid who played Khan in Strange New Worlds?
Doesn't matter.
Oh my god. That scene was way too...
He was Indian, wasn't he?
Antonio Banderas as Khan.
No, I think the kid was Hispanic. But yeah.
Antonio Banderas.
Indian.
That'd be amazing.
But yeah, it's true though. That was such a sad scene. You're like, your job is to kill a little kid. Okay. Also, the one that's your ancestor.
Yeah, I don't get how she's a
Just
descendant.
extra auxiliary power.
This bit is the bit of the movie which makes the least amount of sense, that they're this close to Earth.
I mean,
Okay, so the Baby Khan is played by a Canadian.
Desmond Savan, and he is half Latino and half South Asian descent. So,
oh wow, we're both right.
She's a compromise between
finally
Montalban
cast
and
a South
Khan.
Asian. Finally cast a South Asian heritage actor to play Khan.
Yeah.
Seatbelts in my Star. This isn't real Star Trek. Real Starfleet wouldn't have seatbelts.
This isn't canon. Wait, there's a deleted scene from Nemesis. Or
It was
Insurrection.
deleted.
Yes,
It's not
we
canon.
watched it. Yes.
Okay. I mean,
Yes, the deleted scene from Nemesis where the Major from Enterprise is the first officer.
yeah.
Yeah.
Major Hayes.
And why
Yes.
aren't the consoles exploding? Where's the foam rocks?
Where are the rocks? What kind of Star Trek is this? This is just like metallic debris.
True.
This is very evocative of
You can't skip the ceiling rocks.
Star Wars, like where the Phantom Menace Duel of the Fates happened.
Why does this
And
look
in
like a
general.
hotel?
I don't know. Those looked a little bit like ceiling rocks.
Oh, look, they're
Couldn't really
so
tell.
close to
Yeah.
Earth that they can fall
this is a
into
tall
it.
sequence. But there's a tall sequence, but yeah, the process of it doesn't make all that much sense.
Also, the inertial damper has never stopped working this bad.
Jump.
This is really well
No,
done, though, when you
no.
think about it, because this is
Oh, we're
hard
back to the
pull off.
brewery.
Yep.
Structural
So
integrity
if they
fields.
fell sideways again on this part, then they would be screwed.
Structural integrity fields and inertial dampers are like
So-
critical for a starship to work.
How about that going sideways, Soma?
They are a bit
Well,
screwed.
I mean,
This is actually really, really well done in the
this is a great
brewery.
scene. This is a great scene.
And you see, the reason it's sideways is
Whoa.
because there's a planet there.
Chekhov!
Check up, how did he get here?
Super
Um,
fast Chekhov. He's using all of his Russian. He's pulling with the strength of the entire
Wait,
Russian
wait.
nation.
If the Enterprise is angled like that, wait, now gravity's normal.
Yeah.
That's not how gravity works, but okay.
It's behind the deflector dish. There's a lot behind the deflector dish. The entire engineering hall is behind the deflector dish. Where's the switch?
Khan is such a Cossack.
Mm. So wait, is the idea that gravity is all weird because they're falling toward Earth?
Yeah, the ship is rotating, so different parts of the
That's
ship are
painful.
angled toward it.
So it's more like centripetal motion.
Jesus, that's painful.
Yeah.
I would think that
They should be
gravity would
weightless.
compensate.
They should be weightless.
They should be weightless, yeah. They're in free
Yeah.
fall. They should be weightless no matter what.
But no, see,
That is
the
painful.
interaction of Earth's gravity field with the gravity plating on the ship
Do a
results in
source
an
of separation.
interaction.
And plus, power is fluctuating, so
Mm-hmm.
power is fluctuating.
And it's way more dramatic this
What
way.
are these? What are these structures from?
That's true, though. When they're
This is the
running,
nuclear reactor again.
they should be spiraling through the hallways, not just like going down one side of it.
Jim, that might have been a little excessive. I don't think you needed to punch him.
yeah, he would have just not done it.
Well, okay, because in the Star Trek 2, Spock does a nerve pinch to McCoy. He's like,
Yeah.
"Are you out of your
Yeah, but
Vulcan
McCoy's
mind?"
actually trying to stop him.
So here too, Scotty would not let him in without. Scotty says, "I'll go in" or something, and that's why he punches him. out,
Remember,
because It's his job.
Remember.
It's a fun sequence, but yeah, this whole part of the film doesn't make any sense.
How come Star Trek
It
Beyond
needs-
isn't about retrieving Kirk's
He
Katra?
can't do the death grip.
Yeah, the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few. So, okay, wait. This part of the film makes no sense because if you kick a piece of machinery, it doesn't work better.
Yeah, it does.
Bet
Dude,
it
have you
didn't.
ever interacted with machines?
I mean, that is just a
Percussive-
trope. That's
percussive
just like
maintenance.
well established. Yeah,
Okay.
you can hold supercuts of percussive maintenance on YouTube if you want.
You know how many
It
times
works
I've
in real
smacked
life.
my
You'd be
computer getting
surprised
in
how
line?
many times
The fact-
percussive maintenance works in real life.
Okay, but I'm saying in 2013 it shouldn't be in a movie.
I'm just saying,
But it
still
works.
works in real
the
life.
gravity
It's still a
feed is
real life
much,
thing.
much worse.
Okay.
Do you want to hear? You want to hear a real life story about percussive maintenance? so we were tracking a problem with a car taillight where taillights were failing because water was ingressing into the taillight, and there was a failed sonic weld between the lens and the housing. And eventually we tracked it down to a single operator at the assembly facility who was having trouble getting the taillights installed. So
And
they
you
had
hit him with a
smuggled
hammer?
in they had smuggled in a mallet, and they had hidden the mallet under their shirt. And whenever they had trouble getting the taillight to fit, they would smack it with a mallet. Well, that was breaking the sonic weld between the lens and the taillight housing.
Wow.
But like for thousands and thousands of cars were affected by this, and it came down to one person.
So did that fix it or make it worse?
That was the
It's a
cause.
nice,
it was the
lesson,
person. The fix was taking away the mallet.
I'm definitely gonna think
And
about that next time
probably-
I see a something that was
Dramatic
added to a
rise?
system as a short-term hack.
And they're probably, I don't know if they were moved to a different area or if they were fired, but yeah, one of the two things. Either they got moved to a
Took them
different
out away.
job or they got fired.
That's it.
Take your
Amazing.
pick.
Amazing
Yeah.
cloud shot. Amazing cloud shot. Oh wow, the ship's all tatters. Thrusters firing? Look at that.
I got thrusters. You want some thrusters? You know what I can't get today for dinner? I cannot get Chick-fil-A.
Thrusters. Oh. Is Chick-fil-A still evil?
A little.
I mean, but it's really good chicken.
A little. They're just not
A little
overtly
evil.
evil anymore.
But they're really good to their employees. Like, I don't know, man.
What if the employees are gay? Or do they just not hire them?
What?
Yes,
I don't know, man. I had such I forgot what it was. I went
Okay.
somewhere and I had such horrible service, and then afterwards I went to Chick-fil-A and it like restored my faith in humanity because they
Did
they
did
a really
everyone
good
bring
job.
a box of Kleenex? Because you're gonna need it.
The ship out of
Box of
danger?
things.
We
No,
already
the ship's
know
still totally
how
screwed.
this goes anyway.
Stop. So sad.
We already know it turns
Oh,
out
hey,
okay.
Spock, what's up?
You'll flood the whole damn compartment.
Blatant Star Trek 2 references.
See, this is the
At
thing.
least 7
when
by
people
now.
saw Star Trek 2 the first time, it was much more plausible that they were going to
Yeah.
that Spock might die.
That's what did die. They just decided to bring him back in the next film.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Is
He
that
was only
like when you were
mostly dead.
watching it, you like you might have believed it.
Yeah.
I mean, it was.
Whereas
it's
this
not,
is like
not
we know
just
Kirk's
my-
not going to die.
Yeah, we know Kirk's not die. But in Wrath of Khan, he absolutely was dead. He was physically dead. The character was not.
Yeah,
yeah.
the reshoot.
right. So
They did a
that's why
reshoot where they added the "Remember Me" and then the torpedo scene.
Right.
That was all added after the fact.
Point is, this doesn't hit as hard.
Look, also
Yeah.
Shatner's speech, out of all the souls I ever knew, his was the most human.
Blatantly
Yeah, that was
offensive
a good speech.
funeral
You
speech.
can't do that here, you know. So please, guys, let's not diss the new actors just because.
Out of all the souls I've ever known,
And
Kurtz
the
was the
actors are
most
fine. I just the scene is
Vulcan.
not going to hit as hard.
Logical.
Yeah,
Logical.
This is a tearjerker though. I mean, for the two characters as they are, you're definitely like.
I would have liked some of the radiation poisoning makeup that they gave old Spock.
Yeah.
Because this is just Chris Pine.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's actually how radiation poisoning this severe works.
True.
I want to see Chris Pine's
This the
skin
only movie
sloughing
I've
off.
seen in the theater that I've almost walked out of.
Everybody prepare to con.
You are and shall always be my friend. They should have killed Chris Pine and then that would have been it. We don't need him for a third movie. Because you guys are
It would have been very interesting character-wise to do that.
You guys are just dismissing this scene, and I think there's a lot of emotional
Hi, Jim.
gold here. There's gold. There's a gold mine.
All right. If you would like to con, you can feel free to con.
I don't think Quinto does it as well.
No, but
What was up with Shatner where they just repeated the line like 4 times? It didn't even sound like an echo. They just played the same sound.
Car.
Ken.
Come on, Spock, do the scream. We're all waiting for it. Nope, it's over. It's gone. Back to the action.
A few minutes behind.
Benedict!
Con!
See, it doesn't work when you have a villain with a really long name like Benedict Cumberbatch. You can't yell that dramatically.
Karn.
It doesn't work.
You know, even better than the con line is the.
See,
con.
that shot is actually really cool as well. It looks like someone's started a camera and trying to see what's going on.
Very fancy.
Yeah. That's J.J. Abrams.
Are we about to narrowly miss the Golden Gate Bridge again?
This is why we give J.J. Abrams the entire franchise.
Hey, it's Bill Hader.
There goes Alcatraz.
Oh, the prison island.
Bye-bye.
Okay, yep, these people are totally all dead.
I think Alcatraz is abandoned.
Yeah.
So nobody died.
That is a mass casualty incident right there.
Oh, okay.
Thousands of people are dead.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Yeah.
Oops. All right, so this is like 100 skyscrapers full. Okay. And that's the Vengeance or the Enterprise?
Vengeance.
That was the Vengeance.
Enterprise still in space.
Okay.
Oh, still in the atmosphere.
9,
Remember,
11
the Enterprise
times 1,000.
got its thrusters back into the dramatic cloud rise shot.
Okay. Yeah, I was too busy focusing on my con warm up. But I was saying, even better than the con line where he screams, William Shatner, it's Con. You keep killing everybody else, but you keep missing the target. That was a good one.
Okay, surely that kills him. Wait,
You
how does
forgot
that
the
work?
Genetically modified.
Why is the transporter one way right now? Alright.
Because he's a moving target.
That
but he
has
can
never
get
been a
someone to land.
thing. Able to beam one. Maybe it's been a thing once or twice, but only under very specific circumstances.
Well, this circumstance is very specific.
Okay.
Con, I know you just
They shouldn't have
murdered
been able to
thousands of
speak
Sure,
people.
the
You can't
writers
just
cannot
steal
think
someone's
of anything
jacket.
else.
I don't think that ever happens again. Not that I remember.
If he hadn't been looking, if he had just like been walking away or
Just act
Yeah.
casual.
right,
But
exactly,
that's the
like
other
that
thing.
casual.
No, because we knew what George Harrison looked like, so he should be the equivalent of Osama bin Laden on Earth.
George
right now,
Harrison?
so- Sorry.
But they don't actually know that it's him.
They did. Remember the Starfleet files said Harrison? Whatever his name was?
Yes.
Yeah.
No, the general public don't.
Yeah, these are
They
just
would
Why are
have
there
like-
randos.
vehicles with wheels?
They wouldn't have plastered everywhere. This is the guy who did the attack.
Wait. Is he in a stasis field or he's just in a body bag?
I think he's just in a body
Admiral
bag.
Marcus
Are these
probably
what's with
wouldn't
these
have-
nurses with the cybernetic heads?
It's because he died of radiation poisoning, and they're the only ones who got the memo.
They probably wanted to check him over first with radiation suits before they did
Oh.
anything, and they've just remained in the suits.
And the Tribble's back because he injected him with the super blood.
This is the most ridiculous part of this entire movie. I know we've said that
the
like,
gravity thing is still.
No, the
Four
gravity thing
times.
is the most ridiculous. This one they set up really well. They show multiple times how he's able to regenerate people, keep them alive.
well,
He
if you want to
revived a
debate
child,
it,
and he revived a Tribble.
I think an attack helicopter not killing everybody in a room is the most difficult thing to believe.
What
It's
if
not, it
Khan's
wasn't
blood
designed to
type
be
isn't
anything. It's not
compatible
an attack
with?
helicopter. It's just a thing with defense guns.
What if Khan's blood type isn't compatible with Kirk's blood type?
It's over, Spock. I have the high ground.
Yeah.
No, don't
Vulcan
throw him against the
versus
wall. Throw him
enhanced human.
off. Come on. You're not even trying to murder him.
What are those panels sticking up for?
It's like a heat sink thing.
Throwing Vulcans against.
Vulcan FP
Oh, he
didn't work.
resisted. He resisted.
He passed his con save.
I think all genetically engineered humans must have been O positive.
O negative is universal donor.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Con, you don't have to have a signature move. Just throw him off and kill him.
AB positive is the universal acceptor.
Recipient.
So I don't know.
Bit
it'd be
of
better
Star
to
Wars
be- I guess
Episode 2
personally,
vibes here.
It'd be better to be AB
Then
AB
O.
positive. You could just take anything off the shelf. You know,
I just
if you're O
learned that
negative,
Kiva
you can only take
Goldsman
O
was an
negative.
admiral in this.
Whoa. This is like episode 1.
I think that they can process the blood in such a way to remove the Rh factor, but it doesn't solve the phenotype. So
Episode 1 had a really good fighting on cars, flying cars. A lot of these
we
Do
just
we
need
need
his
him
blood,
alive?
right?
Yeah.
We just need his blood.
His blood will still be good for a little bit
need,
after he's
basically,
dead.
they need him to be
Yeah,
a body they
exactly.
can have.
We just, his bone marrow and his blood is gonna be okay.
Con,
for a
stop
bit.
trying to head crush. Stop it. There's so much more efficient ways to kill someone.
Oh, heavy stun. Heavy stun.
I think he gets just a special kick out of it because like he knows that the other person knows that there's
Oh no, he was faking earlier.
Why does he take so many stun shots? I didn't
Because
see
he
this
was faking being
turn up the.
unconscious earlier.
How did Spock rip the metal thing off of the?
Because Spock is
Off of
also
that.
strong. He's a Vulcan.
Yeah, but he okay, Selma, it's space
Chekhov
steel,
can't
right?
beam them up because they keep moving, but he beamed up moving people in the previous movie.
Yeah. He's
Except
really motivated.
Spock's
because,
mom couldn't save her when she was moving.
Like, did you know women have been known to like lift cars to save their children? You do get superhuman strength if you have a willpower sometimes.
So what you're saying is that it's just
Yeah.
because Spock loves him so much.
What?
Yes. He can shear space metal off of a space freighter.
Barely dead.
Isn't it like the first recorded fan slash Spock and Kirk?
Yeah. Wait a minute. so-
Yeah,
They got-
on far in a
they got-
cave.
They got shipped together, quote unquote.
Yeah, that is the generator stood origin is slash fic.
Yeah. Although
they're in a cave, they're in a cave together, and Spock goes into Ponfar, and well, like, what is he gonna do?
Well,
What is
peak
he gonna
was
do?
Harry,
Yikes!
Harry Kim and Tom Paris. That was the best / fiction.
It's not so much what as who.
Right.
But hey, how come
Why
we
is
don't
Kirk's
just like
bed wedged in a corner?
how come we don't keep Khan alive and just milk his blood to bring people back to life all the time now?
How come we don't do that with 7 of 9? I mean,
Why don't we just
Yeah.
nanoprobe everybody? Or we did nanoprobe everybody, and that's how Star Trek Picard, everybody was infected.
so why didn't they preemptively nanoprobe everybody, and that way, when Janeway sends them a suicide mission, they just instantly resurrect. They're just dormant.
Would you volunteer to get injected with Borg nanoprobes?
I mean,
If the
yeah,
if the doctor Pinky promised that they were safe,
I would. I mean, I might want to check over the source code.
It was nice knowing you, Robo. We get a nice military funeral here. I like how they drape the flag over.
but it's not a military. We spent the whole
Wait, is
movie
this
trying to
for-
prove that.
It's a Pike.
Is this for Pike? Why isn't he just horribly disfigured?
Her 5-year mission, it was always its 5-year mission.
No,
Yeah.
we didn't have it before.
Now they've assigned it a gender.
But another thing this movie did was before Discovery, it reinvented the Klingons, and people didn't like it then either. But I like how
The Klingons in this are better. Make the Klingons in Discovery look way worse.
No, I feel like they're the same.
The Discovery Klingons make these
Yeah.
Klingons look like a million times better. But these Klingons were fine.
Yeah.
Oh, did you notice that guy behind Bones? It's out of frame now, but he had a little barcode scanner on his console.
The
like a
Klingons,
grocery store
in
clerk.
Discovery were like a Muppet character.
Kuvma. Oh wow, Kirk gets to keep Carol Marcus.
Carol Marcus. I think we all want to keep Carol Marcus.
No,
Sorry.
get out of here, Berman.
Yes. I didn't know that Burma joined at all.
Oh, Android guy has 2 barcode scanners.
The needs of the many.
Dang it, Zul, you couldn't even keep the ship straight. It all curved up. All right, that was Star Trek Into
I
Darkness.
feel
Yeah,
like
that's
a
all
bunch
right.
of modern Treks
It's fine.
forget that the Klingons should still have flat foreheads.
I don't think people forget that
Dual-wield
Klingons
barcode scanners.
should have flat foreheads. I think it's just that people think it looks dumb.
Klingon ships.
They sort of can't do that again with the flat foreheads unless they made them very different anyway, because it was a caricature
Because it looks
at the time,
dumb.
and was a racist caricature.
Yeah.
What was
it
a
was just
racist
people in
caricature?
blackface.
The Klingons at the time, yeah.
They're also Mongoloid.
Hold on a
Alright,
second.
so
KHAN.
Which Klingons are blackface?
the original ones.
Well,
Original
also
series?
several of the ones of Next Generation, but it's not as bad.
But they're a different species, so they're not. It's not blackface.
Yeah.
It's just.
It feels
But like
like
in
just
the, but
a-
in the original series, they were very human looking. But yeah, that was the.
They were
that was
just.
the
They were
the
just.
weird thing about it.
They were just vaguely Asian, vaguely something.
Yeah, but
Villains.
that wasn't great.
Cartoon
still.
villains. No.
Yeah.
It was like when
Okay,
John Wayne
so-
played Genghis Khan.
Oh God.
So we ended. Jesus. We ended this movie with 0 Ricardo Montalbans. I really thought we were going to get a picture of Old One from Old Spock. But
A
no.
picture of Ricardo.
That
I
would
thought
be
we were going to
against
get a
the
picture of
Central
Ricardo. We
Prime
didn't.
Directive.
Then you have to pay his estate for using his likeness.
Okay, so next week is Star Trek Beyond, which is really, really good. That's definitely the best JJ movie. They're all good.
I'm not sure if you're.
We
I
get
would say
Idris Elba.
Beyond's the best.
We get Idris Elba.
They look like
for that
Puerto
reason
Ricans,
alone.
and they dress in gold lame.
So what
They
what
get
do we
Puerto Rican.
count for Beyond? What are we tracking?
References.
Beastie
References
Boys
to what, though?
songs.
Captain
References
Elba.
to Enterprise, because there are several of those.
PNG.
References to, yeah, just references.
How about holographic transporter clones or whatever he does with that one sequence with the motorcycle?
That's one scene.
How many punches the
And it's
bad
4.
guy does? They have a good punch scene.
Red shirts eating.
Enterprise reference.
Beats and shouting.
Do you want me to count every single beat?
I mean, Beyond is the 50th anniversary movie.
Is
All
it?
right.
That's sad.
Thank you, Ryan. Thank
So,
you, chat.
but that's
It
next
came
week.
out in
This-
2018.
There were 50 aliens in Beyond.
16.
Oh, that works.
Next week
We
is
gotta
Beyond, but this stream is over. Everyone go away.
Have a lovely evening.
Don't tell me
You
what
don't
to
have to
do.
go home, but you can't stay here.
I mean, you can stay in the voice chat if you want to, but
But
It
you
might
always
just be
boot
you.
people out.
only because I know that you walk away from your computer, so I assume you're not physically there to press the disconnect button.
Thanks for stream. See you next week.
Okay, we're done here.
By stream.